Okay. So as a leader, the requirements for this class ask a number of questions. So I'm going to take written notes also myself. So first of all, I want to know who are you with respect to your business enterprise? Who are you? So that's the first question. Background, that's in terms of background information.
So background information and president of the company.
CEO and president.
Yes.
Okay. You went out a little bit there, that's why. Okay, good. And they want to know, where do you work currently? And
Our
how
offices
have you been in that position?
Well, that company we started 10 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and our office is in Boca Raton, Florida.
Okay. Okay. And your role, of course, your role is the CEO and president. Okay. So in terms of reflection on you can reflect on either your current job or any previous job. If you want, you could refer to this one because this one is really what you are doing right now.
Right.
Which industry will be representative of your organization?
Healthcare.
Healthcare, okay. And again, your role would be your role as it relates to this would be?
Well, operating and managing the company.
Okay. And so again, I don't want to be redundant, but he says, how long have you been or were in your position? So it's 10 years. So
correct.
10 years in position. Okay, good. They said to consider your greatest career achievement in that role. And when you consider it, what we want to know is, give us some details, including the time period and the persons or products and services involved in the achievement of that. So if I don't get all of the information, I'll go back because you may miss certain things. So I don't want to make it too complex. I want to take it one at a time so that at least we have the thing. So first of all, consider your greatest achievement in that role. What would you say is?
Well, I think, again, we're predominantly a telemedicine company. So our greatest achievement, I'd say, would be to help support hospitals with specialists at a time that they are, a scarce resource, right? So basically, we provide specialty care for patients to hospitals that don't have the manpower to provide the care themselves.
Right. Okay. And who would you say are the persons, products, and services involved?
Well, I mean, it's physicians,
okay,
right? So the people involved are physicians, and we basically hire them to help us, manage the patient care.
Right. And products involved?
Well, healthcare, it'd be patient services, I guess you could call it.
Okay.
Healthcare patient services, right?
Yes. And yeah, and products and services. Okay. What management principles or strategies did you employ that you believe led to this effective organizational outcome?
Well, I think the most important principle we have is to be collaborative.
Okay.
And in terms of management of our company, there's 3 or 4 of us that really work together to, it's a flat organization. We try to make it a very seamless, flat management style. So people are, the people that run the company all have input in how to, and that's really our management style. We try to get input from everybody that's engaged and make sure that it's collaborative in terms of our approach to things.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, yes. Okay. Okay. And why do you consider this achievement to have been so impactful to you?
Well, I mean, I think we've been able to deliver good quality care for patients in a time of need.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go down. They have now they have a table here that I have to rate you on in terms of different characteristics, and it goes from 1 to 5. 1 being never used, 2 rarely used, 3 occasionally or sometimes, 4 often, and 5 always. Listening in terms of your role and achieving your things. How often do you use listening?
5.
5. Okay. Empathy.
I would say 4.
Healing.
Healing?
Yes.
I guess 4. That's kind of what we do.
Okay. Awareness.
Again, 4. Those are all things I think are very important, right?
Okay. Persuasion.
I think I always joke my job is to stop smart people from doing stupid things. That's my job, really.
Right.
So yeah, I think persuasion is very important. It's 5.
5. Okay. Conceptualization.
I'd say a 4. I mean, I think we often come up with new models of care. So from a concept to reality is something we do frequently.
Yeah. Okay. Foresight.
3.
3. Stewardship.
Again, 3.
3. Commitment to growth of people.
I'd say 4.
4. Okay. All right. Now I go to the second part of the question. Consider one significant challenge you previously faced in that role. How did you handle it? And what was the outcome?
Okay. I think probably the biggest challenge we have and we faced is trying to make physicians understand their need for structure in their daily routine. And by that, I mean, if you think about it, ICU care, for example, if you have solid structure that people do the same thing every day, care improves. And that's a challenge because most physicians are independent thinkers.
Right.
And they don't really want to be part of a group think approach to care. But in the ICU, it's really been proven that that's very critical. So that's the challenge that we have to deal with. And I think we've done that because we've done a standardized approach to multidisciplinary rounds by making people understand that it's important to have structure. So I'd say structure in medical care is the challenge, and getting physicians to understand and implement that is what we've done. I think we've done that successfully most of the time, not all the time.
Right. Okay. So that's actually excellent. Let me see here. Okay, here we go. Okay, could you provide some details, including time period, persons, products, and services, competition, or whatever it is, that may have been involved in this process? That is referring to the first question.
Yeah.
Your greatest
Well, I
challenge.
think I'll just tell you exactly. We're doing that exactly right now as we speak. We have a large program here in South Florida that we took over that's completely undisciplined. Every doctor does different things. And just as, for example, multidisciplinary rounds, one guy does it in 20 minutes, and one guy does it in 4 hours.
Right.
None of the professional staff show up. That's the challenge we're facing right now, and we're working to fix that. So that's kind of, I think the answer is exactly the same, exactly what you're talking about.
I see. You find that is particularly how does that would affect your vision in terms of what you are trying to achieve for your company?
Well, I mean, the point is that we know that if we can get them into a structured model of care, we'll improve the quality of care. And that's a hard thing to make people understand. So that's what we had to do. And that's what we're working on. And it's not done yet, but we've done that many times over the last 20 years, really.
Okay. Okay, very good. Let me see that I have things here. So they said here, how did you handle it and what was the outcome? The outcome was, or I guess it's still in progress, really, because it's actually a work in progress.
It's a work in progress, but we've already met with the management of the nursing and other departments to get them to agree to do this. So we're halfway there, I'd say.
Okay. And what period of time were you thinking of to achieving this?
Well, I mean, we've started, I would say it's started a month ago. We took over June 1st. We were working with them sort of, so mid-May, we'll be there by the end of July. So that's the time period.
Okay.
May, June, 3-month period to get it done.
Okay. And persons that will be involved, apart from the physicians?
Well, there'll be nursing, pharmacy, dietitians, etc. So lots of ICU professional staff.
Okay, good. And any particular products or services that you would engage?
Well, I mean, the service is healthcare, providing patient care.
Right. What about competition?
Well, our competition is more before we get an agreement. So frequently we have to compete with other vendors, if you will, to provide that service, right? So it depends on the hospital. As you well know, sometimes we win and sometimes we lose, right?
Yeah, of course. Because there are people who will probably try to undercut to get the contract.
Welcome to JFK, New Jersey, right?
I know. All right. What about market conditions? It seems as if things are changing to some extent now. I don't know, but it seems as if things are changing slowly.
Well, I mean, I think one thing, with telemedicine, what's interesting is with the pandemic, the telemedicine, after it's over, telemedicine to the consumer has gone down in volume, but the hospitals have as much need as ever. They've lost their physician specialty support. So we find, we're rolling out many telemedicine programs because the hospitals don't have specialty coverage. Doctors have kind of cut back.
I see. Is that as a result of I mean, they're doing other things, or I mean, what would you say?
I think they're reducing their exposure to hospitals. They're saying, I'd rather not be in a hospital anymore. I'd rather work in a clinic or not work at all.
I see. Do you find that in younger doctors, middle-aged doctors, or older doctors?
All of the above.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, you're a dying breed, my friend. You like to work hard.
I know. Baby boomers. There's really a clear difference between what we describe as those baby boomers compared to the generations after that really is a very different mindset altogether.
Yeah, 100%. And maybe they're right. Maybe we're wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see with time. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing on that graph with you. So three. Okay. What part did that play in terms of, let me go back to the question. They say, consider the significant challenge you previously faced in that role. How did you handle it? And what was the outcome? So they want to know now, in this challenge that you faced, how big a part did listening play? Again, the scoring is the same.
Yeah, 5.
5. Okay. Empathy?
3.
Healing?
2.
2. Awareness?
5.
Persuasion?
Say that again. What was it?
Persuasion.
5. 5.
And then we have conceptualization.
5.
5. Foresight.
3.
3. Stewardship.
5.
5. Commitment to growth of people.
4.
4. Interest in building community.
2.
2. Okay. Okay, next question. We'll take it one at a time because I think it's a little more involved. What was the mission, or what is the mission of your organization?
To improve quality of healthcare.
Okay. And likewise, what is the vision?
What's the vision? The vision is to use technology to improve care of patients in hospitals.
Okay. And any other strategy that you may use in that regard for your organization?
Well, I mean, strategically, what we try to do is be aware of the both operational and financial problems that hospitals have. That's our strategy, if you think about it. We need to think about and strategize as to what do they need and how do they get there most economically. So that's really the strategy. Strategy is to put ourselves in the position of our clients, if you will, to see, well, here's their problem, how do we solve it? So that's kind of how we try to approach it strategically. Always be aware of, there's not an open checkbook for healthcare. They have restrictions on what they can spend.
Of course.
So I don't know if that answers it, but I think that's what our strategic approach.
Okay, that would actually really make a lot of sense. How essential is the entrepreneurial mindset in achieving the mission?
100% important.
And the vision?
Because you think about it, most physicians aren't entrepreneurial at all. So that's why we're rare. You know, our group is sort of what we've done is kind of a rare thing.
Yes.
It's there are people that do it, but there are not a lot of people that do it.
Yes. The other things too, I see, and as a side note, I see a lot of, well, not a lot of, but for the hospital systems that are actually run by physicians, they're running it themselves. It's actually, they are not run very well, and they have a lot of problems with them, no matter where. A lot of them have closed, actually, for what I've seen. People have lost a lot of money and so on. So you're
That's
right
interesting.
to say that. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the part C, the third graph here. Same thing, the same questions would apply, except they are a little bit different. So this one is dealing with entrepreneurial mindset. And the scale will be from 1 to 5. To what extent did you utilize each of these skills with respect to an entrepreneurial mindset? So 1, generalized self-efficacy. 1 would be almost nothing, and 5 would be, again, always used. In other words, so they said here, if I should ask the question as a full question, to what extent have you used generalized self-efficacy with respect to the entrepreneurial mindset?
Self-efficacy. You want to explain what that? I don't even know what that is. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, it has to do with how confident are you in what you do? How believable you are in yourself, in your abilities to accomplish what you want to accomplish as the CEO, as the manager, by having those ideas you have in your head filter out to the people that are under you and achieving that goal. I think that's really what it's trying to say.
Well, then I think that's a 5, because got to be able to, if you will, engage people in your vision of where you want to get to when you run a company. So I think that's a 5. You got to be able to do that.
Okay. Need to achieve.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think 10 years ago, I would have said that's a 5. Now it's a 3.
3. And why is that?
I'm less worried about the outcome. In the sense that we don't get every deal. We don't fix every problem. You can't in life. So when you're starting a company, you're sort of absolutely desperate, if you will, to succeed. As your company gets bigger, and we're pretty big at this point, relatively speaking, I'm less anxious about it. I'm less determined about it. I just feel like we do the right thing. We try to provide the right answer. If they don't like it, we don't make a deal, and I don't care.
Right.
If you
Right.
know what I'm saying.
Right.
So
And
I
I
think
think
as you grow the company, it's hard. It's like as you grow the company, as you grow the business, I think relatively speaking, you can't keep the same growth rate, because you get bigger, you can't grow at the same rate.
that's
And I
true.
think you have to accept that a little bit. You have to accept that you're going to not have as big a growth rate as you did once.
That
And
is
it's not as important. Not as important. Now you've got to make sure you look after your clients.
It's true. I look at it that way as you look at America, and let's say a developing country like India or China, they are way behind. So they have more of a capacity to grow
Yeah.
exponentially than the United States. But if you look at them, you'll say, oh, China is going to overtake, but they have a long way to go still before they do that, because America is so far ahead in terms of the development that they don't grow as quickly and as much. They grow a little bit because they have almost achieved almost everything they want to achieve compared to China that is just coming and India that is coming up. So
Yeah, you're right. Exactly right. Exactly what Bob said.
Yes. Okay. Need for autonomy.
Well, I think that's important. I think you have to understand that you have to be a entity unto yourself. So I'd say that's a 5.
Okay. Big 5 personality. You have extroversion. How much would you say you are extrovert?
I don't know, 3.
3. Where am I? 3 here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. This one. What about agreeableness?
3.
3. Conscientiousness?
5.
Emotional stability?
4.
4. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Openness to experience?
5.
5. Okay. Another one. Tolerance for ambiguity?
Ambiguity. 2.
2. Proactivity and work ethic?
5.
Internal locus of control?
Sorry, I gotta get a call going. I'm not sure who's calling. That's my boss. Okay. Hang on. Okay, back. Ask me the question again.
Internal locus of control?
I guess 4.
4. And the last one on that one is innovative/creative?
3. Well, I'd say 4.
4.
We have to be innovative in what we do, for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. Okay. All right. Apart from, let me see here. Please identify 2 significant lessons or attributes that are essential for success in your own estimation.
2 attributes. I mean, these are personality traits, or
It could be, or anything that you think is necessary for success in the business field or in the world of business.
well, I think you have to have a vision of
Vision.
what you want to create, and you then have to be stubborn about achieving the type of approach you want to be developed. So you have to be visionary and also stubborn at the same time.
I see. Okay. And when you say stubborn, could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, I think you have to have a again, I'm just thinking of a specific model of when you look at ICU patient care, you have to be stubborn about the fact that you know what the right model is, and you have to get really smart people to buy into that. And there's a certain level of stubbornness that you need to make that happen. And you can't give in to people when they push back about not wanting to do it, or if I feel it's the right way, if you will. We're
Right.
going through that at the moment with a big hospital and a big program, and they've been doing it the wrong way for a long time. And there is a tremendous amount of pushback. And my market medical director, I don't know if you know Dr. Peshamam, I mean, he's sort of every day getting pushback, and every day I have to sort of tell him, you're got to be stubborn about this. We got to do it the right way. So
Right.
I think you have to have a vision, but you also have to be stubborn.
Right. As you said that, I was looking at a movie recently. It has to do with the young guy that was doing the show with Cosby. Remember that young guy?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's doing a hospital show now where he's a top class, world class neurosurgeon, and he and another guy there, another white guy, they are the big boss in the hospital. And he is considered to be really up and coming. He's young, vibrant, self-opinionated, confident in himself. And they brought in this young white expert who will coach them to do the procedure better and in a shorter time and all these things. And they took umbrage to that. They really did. And there was a lot of pushback. And then one day while she was in the operating room with them, they had a serious complication. And what she told them before, they applied it and they realized the benefit of listening. So they were pushing back hard against her because they thought nobody, not even a woman, is going to come and, advise me how to do my surgery. But in fact, they realized that she had something valuable to offer. And I think that's the same lesson that you're talking about, that you have to push back and know when not to give in, because the result, the positive result of that is much greater than individual assumptions and other things like that. So I think that's a good thing. Describe anything you wish, you would have specifically avoided that may have derailed or delayed your success. Anything that may have come in the path of your achieving your goal in a timely fashion or have derailed it altogether.
Well, I mean, I think the one thing that I think I personally haven't done as well as I could have would be to mentor other leaders in the company. I think that has delayed to some extent. I mean, I'm not going to say we're a one-man band because we're not, but a lot of, I think we could have grown faster and maybe been more successful nationally, if you will, even though we're in 13 states, because we had 4 more people that I had mentored to be leaders. I think that would have helped us grow faster. So I think that's the one thing I think I regret, if you will, that I think, and it's hard to find people who want to do that because everybody's got their day-to-day life, if you will, but that's something I think that's really important as a leader, that you have to try to grow people. And I'm not certain I've done as good a job as I could have with that.
And what would you say was some of, I mean, was it personal factors, or was it factors on the people's part that they didn't want to be mentored, or they didn't want to do that, or is it?
I think it's more that I didn't find time to do that, and I should. Make sense? You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
I'm busy running things and not spending enough time growing. And for example, with teleneurology, we don't have real leaders in neurology. We have 30 or 40 neurologists who work for us. We have 1 or 2 we've tried, we've not been successful. And I've not been successful in growing a leader in neurology. So I'm doing it, which is like, I'm not a neurologist, but yet I run the programs, right?
Right. I see.
So I think that's important as a leader. You have to grow your successors or grow your colleagues who will step up. And I think that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you for that answer. Okay. Identify the, okay. Okay. That's so we have care, discuss. Okay, I have that. Affiliation leadership theory. Okay. Okay, with respect to your leadership, respect to your leadership qualities and your so on. What would you say, and I'm going to guide you going down that line, what would you say are some of your key traits used in leading? How would you say is your style related to the following? So I'm going to ask you, you could say 1, 5, or 6, or 7. I mean, up to 5. We use the same scale. So with respect to your leadership style, how is your style related to the following? Intelligence, self-confidence, determination, integrity, and sociability. This is like a conglomerate.
Well, I mean, I think those are all important. I mean, are they separate? You want me to separate them, or are they as a group?
As a group.
That's a 5. You have to have, maybe not all are a 5, but most of those are a 5.
Okay. Focus on achieving goals and completing tasks.
That's a 5.
Fine. Okay. You are either task-oriented or relationship-oriented, and your effectiveness depends on how well your style matches the situation.
I think I'm more task-oriented
Task, okay.
than relationship-oriented.
Okay, task. Okay. Your leadership style should adapt to the maturity level of the followers. That is, you have directing, coaching, supporting, delegating. So is it like adopting, is like your style adapts to the type of followers you have, which is, let's say if you have directing, coaching, supporting, delegating.
Yeah, I think that's a 5. I mean, you have to know your players, if you will,
Okay.
and adapt to them and I think that's truer more now than ever was.
Okay.
The younger generation doesn't want to do what you want to do. They want to do what they want to. You have to adapt to them for sure.
Right. What about clear goals and rewards for achieving them?
That's a 4.
4. Leaders intervene when standards are not met. That's the leadership you have style?
Yeah, that's a 5. If the standards aren't met, you got to be on top of that.
Okay. So you intervene when standards are not met. Okay. Do you act as a role model with high ethical standards?
I'd say yes.
Yes. Okay. What about communicating a compelling vision?
5.
5. Encouraging innovation and critical thinking?
I'd say that's a 4.
4. Providing personalized support and development?
I think that's a 3.
3. Are you the one to show empathy, listening, stewardship, and commitment to the growth of people?
4.
4. Okay. You seek input from team members, but make the final decision.
That's actually, I think, more of a 3.
3.
Because I think we try as a company to have everyone have a say in the where do we go. That's what I try.
Okay, that's important. Leader strive for decisions that all team members can support.
Yes, that's a 5.
5. Okay. Leaders allow team members to make decisions collectively.
5.
Leaders should be flexible and adjust their style based on the situation and the development level of their team.
Well, I think that's probably a yes, but I think my answer to that's 3, because I'm less flexible than I think I probably should be, but that is what it is, right?
Okay. Followers who have
is this really an interview, or is this like a psychoanalysis? What are you doing here,
No. But these are the
Are you doing a psychiatry degree? You didn't tell me about.
No, business. You know, as you rightly said, doctors know nothing about business. Well, not about business, but they are not entrepreneurs for the most part. You know, they just go to work hard, and that's it. You know. Okay. Followers who have high quality relationship with the leader and receive more attention and support.
I think that's a 3. I think that it's not about me, if you will, in our company. It's more about who has the, vision that they want to be doing something. So it's not really about my relationship with them. It's more about, can they state their goals, and are they ambitious and want to get there? That's what I hope.
Okay. Followers with lower quality relationship who receive less support.
No, I don't think that's true. I think that it's not about the relationship with me. So 2.
Okay. 2. Okay. I think we're just about done. Let me just make sure that I captured everything that I wanted to capture. Would you say that you are sort of the type of leader who comes with the authority to make decisions, enforce the rules, and expect compliance from subordinates?
That's a 3, because you know who we deal with. They're not going to, unless the physicians and understand why you're going somewhere, they're not doing it. So
it's 3. It's true. Used to motivate, you motivate and influence behavior by promising or giving rewards.
Again, 3.
3. Okay. Often creates a climate of fear and compliance, but can lead. No, actually, often creates a climate of fear and compliance.
Yeah, that's 5. Fairness, yeah.
See?
Yeah, that's 5.
5. Okay.
You want to be fair to people, and have people understand why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Others defer to the expert for guidance and decision making in their areas of expertise.
Yeah, I think that's a 5. I mean, I'm not saying my areas, but I'm saying everybody has their own areas of expertise.
Right. Okay. All right. So I think I have completed just about all that I want to. Let me see here. Just making sure that I didn't miss anything. Okay. Okay. I think that's it, I think we have completed just about everything. So I want to thank you again for taking the time to answer these
My pleasure.
challenging questions. And
glad to spend time with you, my friend. Nice to see you, actually.
Yes, you too. And
tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on in your life. What are you doing here? And what are you doing? What's going on?
Okay, let me take this out. So let me end the video.